Hello. Uh, Hang on. Let me see if I'm live. How are you? How's everything? Jason Gunn is not yet live. Okay. Am I live already? I'm sorry. Okay. Looks like Facebook site has got some hiccups over there. Maybe I should just go to YouTube and see how it goes. YouTube Jason Gunn. Okay. Right. I'm live. Okay. So, well, it is what it is. You're not seeing me on Facebook, so that's probably because of the connection from, like it's Streamlabs. Talk Studio that I'm actually using, which sometimes actually gets disconnected from Facebook. Well, it is what it is. All right. Now, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is YouTube that you're watching. And this is Jason. If this is the first time you see me, welcome to my universe. And basically, I am a Meta Ads optimization strategist. So what I do is I work with brands to take their Meta Ads campaign to the next level. So if you have been running ads, you have been actually struggling to find a stabilized performance for your campaign, as in like sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't, all this fluctuation, and you're not sure why is that happening, and you're hoping to find a more stable framework to run your ads. I'm your guy. So, or otherwise, if you have been running ads for a while and you are seeing decent success and you're hoping to take it to the next level, that's what I do as well. So, all you can do here is all you need to do is just go to my YouTube channel, look for a link where you can book a, like a quick discussion to talk about how we can work together. That's where we can actually get started. Otherwise, in my links, in my profile links, there are some other ways that we can work together. Like I've got a Meta Ads Blueprint Masterclass. Like it's a Meta Ads training that you can actually sign up for. So yeah, those are the few ways that we can work together. So what I do here is I go live every Sunday night. I'm so sorry, I stomach's a little bit upset today. Anyway, so what I do here is I go live every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Malaysia time to answer questions that I receive from my community, on my YouTube channel. So if you have any questions, the first thing I would recommend you to do is please go to my YouTube channel, try to search for an answer, because I posted over 1,000 videos on my YouTube channel, mostly answering questions like, like this, during my live on Sunday nights. So if you can find an answer, great, just watch the video and hopefully I can solve your problem and quickly move on to do what you need to do. Because when it comes to Meta Ads, there are a lot of things that you need to look into, right? So we probably don't want to waste time. And then if you have any questions that you cannot find on my YouTube channel, all you need to do is just post your question as a comment. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to answer you live in the next, Ask Jason Anything on Sunday night, on the following Sunday night at 10 p.m. Malaysia time. So that's how it works. Okay. Now, just in case, because some of you may say that, can I just talk to you one-on-one, because you may have something that is more PNC that you don't want to be shared in the public, or you have something that you need like a more one-to-one attention, then you can scan this QR code where you can purchase 30-minute one-on-one Zoom call with me. This is on a Fiverr. So through that, we can have a one-on-one Zoom call for 30 minutes, and you can ask questions. You can share your screen. We can look through your campaign setup. We can look at anything that we need to do to hopefully solve your problem. So if that's what you're looking for, then scan this QR code. Then I look forward to work with you. Otherwise, I did mention about this just now. So Meta Ads Blueprint 2025 is my latest Meta Ads training. It's a 4.5-hour recorded training. Basically, it's recorded anyway, so you can actually scan this QR code to purchase, and you can start learning right away. So we talk about a lot of things. Like first thing first, the most important thing here is I think 2025 is a very special year because Meta implemented a lot of important AI tools that you can use to, like really take your campaign to the next level. But not all of them are useful. Not all of them are like matured enough for us to take advantage on. So I talk about what are the tools that are matured right now, then you can take advantage, and what are the things that you should avoid right now, because we may not really know. It's kind of new. Sometimes when Meta launches things, if it's too new, then it may not be that stable. So yeah, so that's something. Like for example, recently there is a new thing called Advantage Plus Lead Campaign. Okay, so that's something that I think it's not stable, because I helped my client launch a campaign, and then it's not really doing that great, frankly, compared to the manual setup. I think partly it's because, first thing first, usually when Meta launch new things, it's not that stable. Like when they launched Advantage Plus shopping campaign, it wasn't doing well for about a year plus, until recent year, like last year, and then things only started picking up to be more stabilized, and all these things coming into place. So yeah, so that's something that we talk about. So aside from that, I also talk about how do I design Meta ad strategy for e-commerce and lead gen. And if you're selling on marketplace like Shopee and Lazada, that applies as well. And then, of course, I'm not just talking about how do I design the strategy. I talk about how do I set up the campaign with step-by-step walkthrough. So those are the things that I talk about. So, and of course, with all these step-by-step walkthrough, you can just learn and apply right away. It's pretty straightforward. And on top of that, I also talk about how do we analyze campaign. And I also shared my latest optimization and scaling strategy that is really working for my clients around the world. So that's something that you're looking for. Then you can scan this code and start learning right away. Okay. Now, just in case you need a more personalized help, I do help clients design your ad strategy and set up a campaign. So this is a 2 session of 1 hour Zoom call. This package contains 2 session of 1 hour Zoom call. So the first call is, you and I are going to sit down. We're going to go through all your requirements, your KPI, your goals, and everything. We're going to design a strategy together. So we're going to talk about ad creatives. We're going to talk about landing page optimization. We're going to talk about audience targeting, budget allocation, and everything. So I would recommend the design direction. We talk about design concepts and everything, but of course you got to do it. You got to get your team to do it, right? So, and you can get your team to get it ready. And once ready on the second call, we're going to set up the campaign together. Meaning you and I are going to sit down over Zoom call, invite anyone that needs to attend. So we're going to set up the campaign together. I would set up, we would discuss everything that we need to discuss, and everything is going to be recorded. So take this as a, like a training program tailored for your business. So that's something they can use to train your employees in the future. So yeah, if that's something that you're looking for, then scan this QR code. Let's have a quick chat to see if we are a good fit to work together. If yes, then let's work together. And I look forward to work with you. All right, so let's go through some of the questions here. So the first one is actually from Kale. So you're asking, do I prefer CBO or ABO when running Facebook ads? Now, I'm a ABO person, but let me explain why. So first thing first, I like ABO because I need to have a lot of control in my campaign strategy. So I'm the kind of person who likes to have a lot of control, meaning I don't want to give it up to Meta, because when you go for CBO, campaign budget optimization, which is now called Advantage Plus campaign budget optimization. So when you do that, right, you're allowing Meta, let's say if you have like 3 ad sets within the campaign itself, you're allowing Meta to run ads to really put the budget into the one that they believe is going to get you better results. Yeah. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, now, let's talk about the first thing. If you go for, if you let them do that, for a fact that Meta is going to put a lot of budget into one of them, and then the other 2 may not get much budget, or some of them may not get budget at all. So that's not a fair way to really run the campaign and really see the performance and the effectiveness of each ad and ad set. So that's something that I don't like, because I want to have control. And second thing here is, of course, you have the option, even if you go for CBO, you have the option to set the spending limit on each ad set. However, it's not that effective, and it's really troublesome if you want to do adjustment from time to time. Meaning, I'm the kind of person who likes to scale the campaign as it is, scale the ad set as it is. Meaning, if this is performing right, I would actually scale the existing ad set. I'm not a duplicate person, not yet. We will scale to a certain extent, then only we duplicate, because duplicate may not work. Let's put it this way. So I want to have this kind of control in my campaign. However, Advantage Plus shopping campaign and Advantage Plus lead campaign do not allow us to do that anymore. As in, like the latest, even like my client recently, we set up a sales campaign. It's not an Advantage Plus, but we are no longer allowed to set ad set budget. Everything is going to be like campaign budget. So what we need to do is like, as usual right now, if we really want, let's say we have 3 ad sets, all right, 3 different ads or 3 different audience targeting that we want to actually go in equally to test, right? We have to put in the campaign budget control over there, meaning each one we probably have to allocate 30% each or something like that in order to make sure that the budget is being distributed. Yeah, so that's a little bit of kind of changes coming in right now. But having said that, in most of my campaign, as long as I have the control, I would like to go ABO. And even if I go one day, they take the ABO off, everything is going to go by campaign, I will still need to have the control on the ad set level, because that's how I structure my campaign. And remember, it's not just about testing. I also do like 80%, 20% for top of funnel and retargeting. So all these kind of structure in place, we need to kind of distribute the budget in a very effective manner in order to make sure that we are not losing money over here. So that's what I do. So I'm an ABO person, but CBO is inevitable right now. Moving forward, a lot of things are, actually things are changing rapidly right now, especially now Meta is really implementing a lot of things that they promise, and things are coming into, it's pretty messy. If you're not running ads actively, you may find it a little bit difficult to catch up. And so that's something that we have to just work together. But if you ask me, the quick answer would be ABO, but I think CBO is becoming the norm soon. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for the question. Now, the second question is coming from Ubus, ZZ Ubus. You're saying that you try to, so this is a question about marketplace listing. So first thing first, I'm not an expert in marketplace advertising. I'm an expert in meta ads advertising, which is appearing on feed and everywhere. But when it comes to marketplace, it's like a different ballgame, because you got nothing much you can do, right? You just put in money and then they're just gonna run as it is. Basically, there are a lot of advertising settings are not available in the marketplace advertising. So your question here is, it's nothing say boosted free. I mean, frankly, there is nothing free on Meta. Of course, if you're using Meta as Facebook and Instagram itself, it's definitely free. But if you're talking about promotion, nothing is free. They don't do that for anyone anymore. Unless if you're running ads, then you probably can get some coupon or cash coupon or something like that from time to time. But that's really something that, it's nothing is free on Meta. Okay, so I hope that makes sense to you. But having said that, you say that you tried to go back to the description, you couldn't cut and paste your ad, it was blank. I think just refresh. Otherwise, we post a new listing. Post a new marketplace listing and see how it goes from there. Basically, sometimes things can be quite buggy on Meta and Facebook and Instagram. So I just have to navigate a little bit. Like I say, I'm no expert in marketplace advertising. I hope that gives you some idea about, probably whatever help I can offer. Otherwise, all the best. Okay. Now, the next question is coming from Forever Pretty. So you're saying that your profile got suspended 20 days back. What should you do? You're unable to create a new profile, new account, and support team is not giving right direction. Support is not helpful when it comes to account suspension or account restriction. So basically, if you have account restriction, as I understand, it's profile restriction. This is actually pretty straightforward. You just need to go in if there is anything that kind of whatever flag that you're in right now, or whatever situation you're in right now, they usually give you some steps to take. But profile is a little bit tricky. I'm only a little bit more experienced when it comes to ad account or business portfolio restriction. But when it comes to profile, it's very difficult to get back. So if you just have to see whatever options you have right there. If there is anything like they ask you to upload some ID and for verification purposes, then you can do that. Otherwise, it's pretty bad. So when it comes to creating a new profile, I would say maybe you can try using phone to create. Because sometimes there is this thing, I don't know, because I'm not 100% sure whether the cache thing would actually kind of affect you from creating new profile, or, like the IP situation. But we usually try to use phone to create a new profile. So those are the things. But frankly, I think if you want to run ads, frankly, like I said, profile, I don't really know what is your need over here. If you want to run ads, that's what I would usually kind of recommend. I would say you can consider borrow someone else's profile to, like create a business portfolio. But when I say someone else's profile, it's not a new profile. For some reason, Meta hates new profile. And you are not allowed to do a lot of things when you're new. You need to brew a little bit. So basically, just borrow someone else's profile, create a new business portfolio, create a new page and new ad account and start running ads. Because to a lot of business, not running Facebook ads or not running Meta ads means you're not running your business. So if that's really the urgent case that we're in right now, then let's not wait and move on to the next thing. Yeah. So all the best. Frankly, I know this is really, really difficult, but then again, I can only provide you routes like this. But having said that, like I said, do not drag. Like I say, do not cling on whatever past account or whatever. Just move on and do whatever we need to do. All right. So thanks for the question. Then the next one is coming from Kayen. So Kayen is asking, do you need to have a retargeting campaign if you're running an Advantage Plus shopping campaign? Now, theoretically, Advantage Plus shopping campaign is also taking care of the retargeting for you. However, okay, based on what we do, we still spend minimum, like maybe just 10% of the budget on retargeting, because we just need to make sure that our retargeting strategy are being implemented. Here's what I would usually do with a lot of my e-commerce clients. Like when we say Advantage Plus shopping campaign, right? Yes, if you take a look at it, the weekly frequency and even the monthly frequency can come up to three something. I think usually it's about 2 to 3, which theoretically they're already taking care of the the retargeting for you. But we have our retargeting strategy. That's what I would always like to emphasize on. So when it comes to our retargeting strategy, we have all these, let's say 5 to 10, so most of my clients, we probably have about like at least 5 top of funnel campaign using the best sellers and all that to actually kind of introduce our brand to people and attract people into our funnel, right? So basically that's our strategy. But once we brought the people in, we also want to educate them about our other products, our offers, our things that we have, our categories we have in the store itself. And of course, it really depends on the business. Sometimes we need to have some urgent retargeting or some long-term retargeting for businesses. Like, for example, my client that sells adult diapers. The long-term retargeting is really beneficial for them. Like, meaning every 1 month we remind them again, by running another 15 days ads to them and stuff like that. So those are the reason why we need to have retargeting. So if you ask me, my quick question, I would still run retargeting campaign. Unless really Meta, they might evolve towards that direction, that one day you're no longer allowed to set up, like retargeting campaign. They say that our Advantage Plus, whatever, is going to take care of everything for you. Then, well, if that's the case, then it is what it is. But for now, I will still do what I need to do, as in like I will have my retargeting campaign. Okay, now just in case you want to kind of understand how I design the strategy, my structure and everything, you can scan this QR code to go through my Meta Ads Blueprint 2025. So this is the 4.5 hour recorded training that I put together. I believe every Meta advertiser should go to that. So aside from the latest technology, AI tools and all that you need to use in 2025, I also talk about how do I design Meta Ads strategy for e-commerce, lead gen, and marketplace like Shopee and Lazada. And I do not just talk about designing. I will walk you through on how do I set up the campaign for each of them, so step-by-step walkthrough so that you can actually learn and implement on your own. And after that, we talk about analytics, which is critical in my opinion. And we also talk about how do we optimize and scale campaign. As in like our technique that we use in 2025. So those are the things that I cover in Meta Ads Blueprint. If you really want to level up when it comes to meta advertising, I think you really need to go through that, scan this QR code, and yeah, you can purchase and start learning right away. So it's a recorded training anyway. So yeah, with that, all the best, happy learning. Okay, now, so this is the last question that we have for today. And it's coming from Kel. So you're saying that you have launched like 5 stores and 2 of them are complete flops, but the other 3 did decent off the bat. After a few days, they kind of die out. Also, your CPM are actually high. Should you try different campaign objective, or should you always optimize for sales and purchase? Now, in my opinion, if you're running e-commerce, I would always go for sales and purchase, because the difference between sales objective and traffic objective is traffic, you may get people in at lower cost, but that these are actually low intent audience. As in, like, Meta will only target people who are likely to click or likely to land on your website. They are not targeting on people who are likely to purchase. So this is actually the key difference when we are choosing objective. So in my opinion, I would still push for sales despite higher CPM, as long as I'm returning profit or at least seeing traction, meaning we are not losing money or losing a little bit, but we look at the long term, we might benefit from it. As we, some businesses actually need to look at the lifetime value, right? So I would always go for sales, unless there are certain situations where we can't really crack it. We need to bring in more people on the top of funnel, but I would be very careful about that as well, because I always have this saying, like, rubbish in, rubbish out. Bringing low intent traffic to your website is going to train your pixel towards this bunch of people, and in the long run is not beneficial for your campaign, because if you keep running traffic campaign, Meta will always understand that these are the people that you want. When they get lower, cheaper clicks, like lower cost per click and everything, they will think that this is optimized, and they will keep finding these people for you. And at the end of the day, if they are not purchasing, your whole pixel is learning in the wrong direction. It's not going to help you in the long run. That's what I think. So I would always go for sales. But having said that, we really need to look at, if you're not working, like let's say some of a campaign are flop, or let's say now your CPM is high, we need to look at what is really causing your campaign to not perform. That's the key. I mean, a lot of people always believe that, it's the objective that is reason why. No, you can go to my YouTube channel. There are some free training that I talk about analytics and all, because frankly speaking, when we dive into the numbers, there are a lot of things that we can dissect and analyze to help us understand what is really happening to our campaign. So we don't take decision just based on like, the CPM is high, this is crap. No, a lot of my clients are having high CPM, but they are converting. We don't care. But then, of course, we will still find a way to bring down the CPM in whatever way we can. But if it is what it is, then we have no choice. But having said that, we want to look at other things like, like let's say if you're running e-commerce, we need to find out where do people fall off. Like, for example, you have low cost per click, say for example, and then after that, all these people come in, they just don't add to cart. That means probably you brought in the wrong people, or your landing page is problematic. We probably have to tackle from both. We build hypotheses and testings. That's what we do, right? When it comes to Meta Ads optimization. So one step at a time, we find all these possibilities, we build hypotheses, and we build a plan on execution. So that's optimization. Instead of just, looking at a lot of top level thing, is it objective? Is it audience? Is it whatever? These are all decisions based on gut feeling, which is, I think, can be quite dangerous if you are managing our campaign this way. So yeah, so that's what I think. But just in case, if you need someone to look at your campaign, you can scan this QR code. This is where you can actually purchase a one-on-one Meta Ads review by me, where we will sit down, we will dissect the campaign. So we're going to do three things together. First, I'm going to build a Meta Ads dashboard for you. So we're going to talk about so let's say all these are the metrics that we need to try or build it in your ads manager. And then after that, we will analyze together, and I will share with you how do you analyze on your own. But as we analyze, I'm already going to draw out certain key points and build a plan for you. So yeah, so that's the thing. So basically, we will have a plan like 2-3 things to do. Like, let's say, do this first. If this happen, then do this. If doesn't, then we do some other things. So this is actually how we do optimization, one thing at a time. That's why a lot of my clients work with me on continuous basis. We meet on a weekly basis, because a lot of things we need to make decision, because aside from the ad itself, there are a lot of factors that were really out of our control. Like, for example, the human behavior. Say, like elections is coming, everything is going to be screwed up, right? Or school holidays are coming. So school holiday affects campaign performance, that? And festive, seasonalities, all these are the things that will affect our campaign. So these are all the things that we do together, like when it comes to optimization. But for your case, if you need help reviewing your campaign as a one-off thing, you can scan this QR code, and I look forward to work with you. All right, I think that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And yeah, if you have any questions, remember to post your question as a comment on any of my YouTube videos. And yep, next Sunday, I'll see you again. All right, with that, thanks so much. Have an awesome week ahead. See you. Good night. Bye.